And today we continue our mock drafts for the 2022 NFL, well, draft-ish, something like that. First of all, sorry about the hair. We're just waking up this morning, getting ready to go. And we love nothing more than to start our days with a big, hearty bowl of mock drafts with our cup of joe. Yep. So today we're doing a 7-round mock draft for the Carolina Panthers. This is all after the combine and everything. And again, before free agency, all these mock drafts are before free agency at this time. Just so we can get a general feel of how the board falls for every respective NFL team. We might go ahead and do a couple a day just so that way we can get through it before free agency starts. But overall, there's a lot of interesting things going around. If you guys saw any of the combine, we just watched all the 40s and everything and some of the drills. I think we just did the 40s. There was a lot of impressive players and some that I think we need to shed a little bit more of a light on, which we will moving forward. But for now, we're going to continue our 7-round mock draft here. The thing about the Panthers is I don't think they have a second or a third or something like that. I can't remember. I don't think it's a second. I think they don't have a second. Speed, we like to slow it down. Bring down those advanced settings. I really could care about public versus PFF, excuse me. Draft for needs, high. Randomness, no. We like to make this as realistic as possible, or at least try to. And we're going to enter the draft here. So, now, I do also want to say, I feel like with the Panthers in the position they are, I feel like they might have to go for a quarterback. If that's the case, I would like them to trade down from 6 to 10 because I don't think the Broncos are actually going to take a quarterback at this rate. I really don't think so. So if you can trade down from 6 to 10, because I'm like 99% sure Washington, they're going to go after a quarterback. So if you can go down from 6 to 10 and get a chunk of change, like maybe a second, I would love that. Actually, I'm not going to trade because this is our first draft for the Carolina Panthers. So we're just going to kind of see, what happens. Pause and offer trade. So I'm just gonna see. Actually, resume draft. I'm just gonna see. I'm not gonna actually offer the trade. I just would like to see what teams would like to trade. So the Falcons want to move up from 8 to 6. Okay, we'll give you. Would you give us a second? Oof, maybe not. Okay, would you give us a third? Okay, and 72 maybe. Oof. So I'm thinking it's probably 1/3 at the very least. What about who else is willing to trade with us? The Vikings? Ugh, my own team. I don't know if I like it. Give us 9. Give us 41. A second. I would still see if you could get a second for this pick because you want to get back up into the second round. If you're the Panthers, I feel like because there's a lot of talent in this draft class. There's a lot of good things going on. So as it stands right now, we're just gonna go with what we got. So first round, 6 overall. You've got all these players. You've got that are on the board. There's so many good players here that I would just hate to. I love Sam Howell though. I would say out of all the quarterbacks, I just have the biggest crush on Sam Howell. I felt like he was. I think he is what is the quarterback that I would peg most likely to go to the Panthers at this point. So. Oh, Sam Howell. But I think, by the way, I think I was wrong. Is it Brody Fredrickson that's the starting left tackle for the Panthers now instead of Cam Irving? I apologize for that the other day. But overall, listen, I feel like Sam Howell is your guy here. If you have to stick and pick, no trading, whatever. As it stands right now, I go with Sam Howell. I really like what he's done so far, and I think he could, stay in the Carolinas. And I think you can kind of hopefully bridge him with a guy you bring in free agency or whatever, but don't start him right away. But I pick Sam Howell here. That might be a little bit of a reach. But if we're not trading right now because we would really like to just see how the board falls. But again, if the Panthers find themselves in a spot where they really want to find their franchise quarterback, obviously they're going to do their homework. But if they're not confident that a quarterback that they like, that they most like, is at the top of that first round, and if they can't get any trades done, man, this is just a tough spot. I would say overall that the goal here is to get the best player available, but also at the same time, the Panthers are so close. Quarterback is such a position of need right now. If they can't get anybody in free agency, I really feel like the draft is it. So yeah, as we move down here, there's a lot of things that are going to go on. But the Vikings took Carson Strong. That's in the 3rd round. Wow. Okay. But no, I think this is going to be a really important draft for the Panthers. Obviously, Rule and those boys, they got to start winning at some point. So All right. So you go all the way down to the 4th round here. Kellen Dyche, he had a really good combine, I felt. And again, you got Brody Fenderson at tackle. Donovan West was also very respectable as well. So O-line, you got your quarterback of the future. O-line, linebacker. Who do you got at linebacker? Oh, Marquise Hayes is there. Dude, I hate to say it, but I've got a huge draft crush on Marquise Hayes. He is a violent player, and I think he could immediately come in if he falls to the 4th round. Oh, you run that card up there. And this is, again, just sticking and picking. Marquise Hayes, if he's there, salivating over Marquise Hayes. So you got your quarterback of the future, a guy in Marquise Hayes, who I think you could start right away at guard. I really do. I think that's how ready he is right now. And don't get me wrong. Does that mean he's going to make Pro Bowls right away? No. But I think the point here is getting a young player in there just to see what he can do and the damage that he can bring. So now you find yourself in a spot here. Luke Fortner's still there. Noah Ellis is still there. I mean, defensive line is not really. DeMarco Jackson didn't. I believe he had a pretty good 40 time, too. Mike McFadden. Jack Sanborn's there. So we got O-line already. The question is, can we maybe get the best player available right now in terms of linebackers, DeMarco Jackson. I like Jackson. I think he could be a good, at the very least, a good depth piece for the Panthers moving forward. But it's tough when you got these. And I think the Panthers could also address some of these in free agency again. So this is just very preliminary. But listen, I love me some Luke Fortner. I think he could be a really good player for, like, I don't even think he can just play guard or center. I think he can play guard, either spot. And I think Matt Paradis, is this his final year? So, I mean, I like me some Luke Fortner. If he falls down to the 5th round, I think that's the spot you go in. I don't mind doubling down on O-line at all. Absolutely not. So then you got Nick Cross. I like me some Nick Cross. Let's see here. I like the way Brody Frederickson played two, excuse me. So I don't feel like we really need to go. I'm going to go DeMarco Jackson here because I feel like, again, the way it stands right now, no drafting, no trading. We'll just go in that spot because I feel like that's going to be a really good spot to get a linebacker, at least a good depth piece. And again, I don't think that the Panthers need a whole lot of linebackers. I think mainly it's just some depth pieces at this point. And plus, I don't know, who knows? Maybe they'll bring back Hassan Reddick. There's a lot still kind of in play there. So a lot of things going on. The Vikings got Jeffrey Hunter. I think he ran like a 4.9. I think at the combine. There's a lot of guys that I don't want to say I hadn't necessarily heard of, but guys that surprised to me as to how much their name rose because I'd done a pretty good amount of searching for names out there, but there was a couple guys that I would say that I got that all of a sudden on the map for me. Jason Poe's there, 188. Could you get him at 220? Let's see here. What do you got? Cole Turner's there, Jason Poe. I think the biggest value here is Jason Poe. My question is if Tyler Beatty still. He's been, I don't know why, but Tyler Beatty has been like in the 7th round for the longest time, and it's a shame, absolute shame if you ask me, because I don't think he falls that far. I think that's a bunch of malarkey. Jason Poe, again, I'm triple downing it on here because you got to at least hit on one. Am I right? Like there's one offensive lineman, and again, the Panthers don't have a plethora of picks, but if they can maybe bring back Hassan Reddick or do what they want to do there, and then get Sam Howell and a whole bunch of offensive linemen, I call that draft a win. I really absolutely do. So then here, Sincere McCormick's there, Max Borghi, C.J. Verdell, Kennedy Brooks is a stud though. Like I know you don't need him. Like you have guys like Christian McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard had a really good rookie season, but I mean, could you trade away McCaffrey and have guys like Hubbard and Brooks that just round out? Why not? Why not? It's our first mock draft. We'll just see how it falls. I love me some Kennedy Brooks. He is an absolute stud. Getting him in the 7th round. That's what I'm talking about these days. It's like running backs are just so undervalued these days. It's like it's a shame because I grew up in the era. You get guys like Adrian Peterson in there that 7th overall pick. Get contracts that are in excess of $100 million, and it's like. Now if you're a running back, you really don't see running backs go in the top 10 anymore, much less in the 1st round at most of the time. I mean, I think we had a couple here last year. Was it Travis Etienne? I think that he went. I was really disappointed to see that he wasn't. And they got their draft grades in. Sweet. I've been waiting on that for a while. I was actually waiting because I've been doing these entire drafts this entire offseason, and none of them been getting drafts for me, or grades for me. So I'm really happy they finally got that piece of it in. I'm blanking on the other who's the other running back that I'm missing. Who's a first round draft pick? I should know this. No, Najee Harris. What's wrong with me? Okay, sorry. Back to the subject at hand here. But so you get guys like Sam Howell in the first round here. Again, I think he's the most pro ready at this point. I mean, from what we know. But again, when we get doing more of these, I would really like to trade down and just see what we can get. Potential another third, so that way you can potentially use that for a trade back up into the second, because there's a lot of talent in this second round that I think could really help out the Panthers. Marquise Hayes, listen, if you get Marquise Hayes that falls all the way to the fourth round, you did something right. You absolutely did something right. Also, same thing with Luke Fortner, but Marquise Hayes, I feel like he could be a guy that comes in, starts right away, and does some damage. Like, if you watch the tape on Marquise Hayes, he's blocking people out of the entire room or onto the sideline for just consistently, and that's the kind of nastiness you love. Also had a pretty good Senior Bowl. I was pleased with what I saw, and a respectable combine for that matter. In the fifth round, getting a guy like Luke Fortner there, I think that's a huge value here. And again, I think he also had a good combine, and I feel like he's a guy that, again, yes, he's listed as the center, but I feel like you could really. That's the thing is the NFL. You just throw people around, baby. You just see where they can play, and I think he could play a lot more than just center. DeMarco Jackson here. I think he's going to be a good player in the NFL. At the very least, a good depth piece, but I think he could be a really good player. And honestly, maybe he could break onto the starting lineup. Who knows? But that's what development is for, getting a really good linebacker. And again, sticking and picking, no trading at this point. I like this pick. Sixth round, Jason Poe. I love me some Jason Poe. I would say him and Zion Johnson are like two of my biggest draft class. Well, Perion Winfrey's up there for me too, but Jason Poe here out of Mercer. I love the pick. I love the value. Getting him there is a good spot. And again, I don't mind tripling down an offensive lineman for the Panthers. Defense is pretty much set at this point. Quarterback and O-line are the biggest concerns for me at this point. Now, would you like another great wide receiver other than a guy like Robbie Anderson for DJ Moore? Probably, but Robbie Anderson's a good player though. So seventh round, 220, Kennedy Brooks. Getting him here, they give him a B- for that. I give that an A because Kennedy Brooks is a stud. He is an absolute stud. So, and again, could you trade Christian McCaffrey for potentially a second-round pick? Probably. I don't know. More likely a third, but he struggled to stay healthy at times, and if they do trade him, which I doubt they'll do, I mean, Kennedy Brooks, seventh round, and you got a guy like Chuba Hubbard in the backfield. Come on, that's just nasty. That is nasty. But yeah, that's our first mock draft for the Carolina Panthers here. They gave us an overall an A. I would say this is how you would want your draft class to measure out here. Excuse me. Overall, again, it really depends on what they want to do, what quarterback they like the most, and I think they could be the team that selects a quarterback the earliest at 6 there, or they could wait. I don't think they wait until the third or fourth round. I think either that or they trade back substantially and get a second round pick. For him, that could be really interesting. So I would really like to see the Panthers get back into the second round, at least the third, to get some of these other players that I think could make a lot of differences. And we'll make more videos as to who I think those players are. But make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think of our 7-round mock draft for the Carolina Panthers.